Welcome back, my dear students. As we are studying here now that unit conversion of the dynamic viscosity from poise to Newton second per meter square. So here we left in the previous video. See here, the dyne, I want to convert this dyne into a Newton here. So what is the formula here now? Force is equal to mass into acceleration. That I need to write it here now. This dyne is a force. I want to write in this form here now. Mass into acceleration. So therefore this is equal to, dyne means what? Dyne means it is in CGS force here now. In CGS, what is the mass here now? The mass is gram here now, gram. So therefore it is 1 gram here into acceleration is what? In CGS. Acceleration in CGS is centimeter per second square. Here now it is centimeter per second square here, right? This is about dyne here. This is about dyne in CGS here. Next, into second divided by centimeter square, as it is I am writing here. Next, I will convert into this one a MKS unit here now, because MKS and SI are almost same here now. So therefore the gram, if I convert this gram into a kg, what has to do here now? So 1000 grams is equal to 1 kg here now. So therefore it is the 10 raised to minus 3 kg here, and I will convert the centimeter to the meter. Just I will convert the centimeter to meter here now. How to convert 100 centimeter? 100 centimeter is equal to 1 meter here. So therefore it is 10 raised to minus 2 meter here. I will keep this second as it is here. This second as it is here. Divided by the second square as it is, because this is same for MKS, SI as well as CGS. So therefore next centimeter square I will convert it into meter square here. So how to convert this one now? Into 10 raised to minus 4, because square is there here now, into it is meter square here. So now what I have got here now, 10 raised to minus 3, 10 raised to minus 2, 10 raised to minus 5 divided by 10 raised to minus 4 here now. So what I am getting here, 10 raised to minus 1 here. So next I will write this unit here, kg meter per second square here. So this one, that term I will write it here. So next what it is left here now, second here, this one divided by meter square here. So what is this? Kg meter per second square means what? This is Newton here. 1 Newton is equal to kg meter per second square. So therefore it is 10 raised to minus 1 Newton second per meter square here. So what is this one? This is equal to 1 poise here. So therefore, so 10 raised to minus 1, if I take this side here and above here, what I am getting here from this, 1 Newton second per meter square is equal to 10 poise. It is proved here. So therefore 1 Newton second per meter square is the bigger unit than the poise. So therefore 1 Newton second per meter square is equal to 10 poise, what we can take here. So also it can be measured in centipoise, CP. Centipoise. Centipoise is equal to what? 1 by 100. CP is equal to 1 by 100 poise. It is a centipoise. This is also unit here now. This is about the unit for this that viscosity here in this case. That is the dynamic viscosity here now. So next one, the under one that viscosity term is called as the kinematic viscosity here. That is a kinematic, that is viscosity. Which is kinematic viscosity noted by small v here. So kinematic viscosity, it is nothing but this v is the mu by rho here. It is the ratio of the dynamic viscosity to the density of the fluid. So this kinematic viscosity, what is the unit? After substitution of this mu unit and rho unit here, what we can get here now? Here we are getting in SI here, meter square per second. What is the unit what we are getting here now? Likewise, we have taken a poise in case of the dynamic viscosity. Here the scientist will comes here now Stoke. So Stoke here now. We can measure in terms of Stoke also here. So 1 Stoke is equal to here. 1 Stoke is equal to 1 centimeter square per second here. It is also in CGS. 1 Stoke is equal to 1 centimeter square per second. This is also unit for the kinematic that viscosity. It is the ratio of the mu by rho here in this case. This is about the viscosity here now, kinematic viscosity and the dynamic viscosity, how it is formulated by the benchmark problem and all here. So next question will comes here now. How this viscosity practically we can see here. Viscosity in the other way of telling, this is the resistive force for the movement of the fluid particles. If this viscosity is high, more, means what? It means that there will be the more shear stress or opposite force or a resistive force for the movement of the fluid. So then it will be called as the high viscous fluid here. So how to see this one in our day-to-day life? We can see this here. So water if you take here now. So water it is there, see here now, this is the water. Just like if it is in the container, this is the water it is there here now. Just how this one now, how it is moving, see here. Like this. Water is moving like this here. So it is having some certain viscosity here. It having some viscosity. If I take, in the same way, if I take honey, you know honey is there. Just you can take this one honey. How that honey is moving here, see here. So we can observe this one now, the movement of this honey here. Like this, the honey is moving. So water will move fast. In place of honey, water is there. Water will move fast. It will be moved very fast here. So, but in case of the honey, it is slow. Means what? What is the meaning here now? The meaning is there is a high shear stress. Shear stress will be more in case of the honey. This fluid is very thick. In place of this one, lubricant oil, it is also very thick here now. So then the shear stress existence is more, resistive force is more, therefore viscosity will be more for the honey here now. Likewise, if you take an edible oil also, it is having viscosity, it is more than the water here now. So therefore, that is also the viscosity we can tell here now. In case of more than the water, it is available here now. So therefore, viscosity is another way of telling is it is a resistive force for the movement of the fluid here. It is different for the different fluid. The petrol and diesel, the viscosity is less than the water. And in case of lubricant oil, it is thicker than the water, heavy. So therefore viscosity will be more, what we can say here. So next one, in case of this viscosity, is that depends on the temperature here now, that has to study here now. That it is a difference on the temperature here. If that is difference on the temperature or not, that has to study. Definitely, the viscosity will depends on the temperature. So it will be depends on the temperature based on the two parameters. One is the molecular momentum, and another one is the cohesive force between the molecules here. Then next, what I will do, I will take for the liquid here. Any liquid if I take here. In case of the liquid, always this viscosity it is there here now. It is inversely proportional to the temperature. Very important thing here. How it is inversely proportional to the temperature here now? See here. In case of the liquids, if the temperature is go on increasing, if you take a water, if you take a lubricant oil, edible oil, anything if you take, like liquids, in that temperature is go on increasing, its resistive force it is there, it will be decreases. Means the viscosity will be decreases when the temperature increases, inversely proportional here now. What happens in these two parameters here now? In these two parameters, in case of the liquids, so molecular momentum it is there here now. Molecular momentum after increasing the temperature, molecular momentum will be increases, but cohesive force will be decreases here. So therefore the viscosity is inversely proportional to the temperature in case of the liquids here now. How we can write here now? So we can write many formulation for this one now. 1 divided by mu is equal to 1 divided by mu naught. Mu naught is viscosity at 0 degree centigrade plus some different formulations are there. Alpha T plus beta T square. Some different formulations are there. Here also we can see here where T is the temperature. Mu is here. Mu is inversely proportional to the temperature here now. So therefore in case of the liquids. Whereas in case of the gases here, in case of the gases like air, helium gas, nitrogen gas, in all the cases what happens? The viscosity is directly proportional to the temperature here now. Just like mu is equal to mu naught plus alpha T plus beta T square here now. So it is directly proportional to the temperature. Means what? When the temperature increases, in case of the gases, viscosity will also increases. What about these two parameters here now? When the temperature increases, what happens? The molecular momentum will be decreases and that gas particles come close together. So definitely its viscosity will be increases when the temperature increases here. So sir, that kind of nature we can observe in case of the gases here. So that's why temperature always affect on this viscosity of the gas. Inversely proportional in case of the liquids, directly proportional in case of the gases here now. So we can see that the nature of the graph if I take here now. So nature of the graph if I take, the temperature is in the x-axis and the mu, the viscosity in the y-axis if I take here now. So definitely that we can see here now. So this kind of the nature of the graph we can observe in the liquids here now. This kind of the graphs we can observe in case of the gases. Means what? Inversely proportional in case of the liquids, temperature and viscosity, and directly proportional in case of the gases. What we can observe here in this case here. So this is about the temperature here now. Is there any dependency on the pressure? Yes, slightly. Viscosity slightly depends on the pressure here in this case. And the another one study for this viscosity is as we have studied that is shear stress is equal to mu into dou u divided by dou y. Experimentally it is found this experiment. This law is called as this law. Shear stress is directly proportional to the velocity gradient. This law is called as the Newton's law of viscosity here. So now we can classify the fluids based on this law. Main classification here now. What is this classification here? Which fluids they will follow this law? They will follow this law. They are called as the Newtonian fluids here now. So therefore they will follow this law here now. They are called as the Newtonian fluids here. Very important. Newtonian fluids. They are following this law. What is this law? Shear stress is directly proportional to the velocity gradient. How the shear stress is go on increasing, proportionally that velocity gradient has to increase. Here now. Decreasing, proportionally. Then they are called the Newtonian fluids here now. If they are not following here now, not following this law here now, they are called as the non-Newtonian fluids here. Non-Newtonian. They are not following that laws. They are called as a non-Newtonian fluids here now. So this law is there. This equation is there. This is holds good for the Newtonian fluids only. In case of the non-Newtonian fluid, means shear stress is not directly proportional to the velocity gradient. In that cases, this equation will be changes. For non-Newtonian that fluids, shear stress is equal to A into it is dou U divided by dou Y plus B. Here now. So here mu is not there. In place of the mu, A is there. Here and B is there. B are also constant like a mu, but these values are changes when the fluids are changes here. These will be found by the experiments here. This is the equation for the non-Newtonian fluids. They are not following this Newton's law of viscosity here. Now I will stop. We will see in the next video lecture some more information about this viscosity and types of the fluids based on the Newton's law of viscosity. Thank you very much.